So the first chord is A minor, and we actually went over all the stuff about how to read the chord symbols, but I will give a little bit of review as we go about what they mean. So A is your root note, and the little m means minor. So we'll start with an A. What is a minor chord? Well, a minor chord is defined by the first third underneath it, meaning you're going up to the third note of that scale. So the first third is, of course, a minor third, and stacked on top of it is a major third. So what's a minor third? A minor third is one whole step and one half step. And, of course, the half steps are just moving up one note at a time on the keyboard, and a whole step's every other one. So most of the time, like if you're on a white note, a whole step is up to the next white note, with some exceptions. And same thing with black notes. Usually the next whole step on a black note is the next black note. To get to the minor third from A, we're going to go up a step and a half. So here's one step, and a half is actually this note, because there's no black note in between here. And so that's our minor third. And now we got to put a major third on top. So that's a major third is two whole steps, or two steps. Let's go up one step and two steps. So there's A minor. Our next chord is just labeled as an E. That's an E major. When you don't see anything after it, you just assume major. It's the backwards of a minor chord, right? Of course, you have a major third on the bottom, and then a minor third stacked on top. So we're going to go up two steps. Now the next white note is actually a half step because there's no black note in the middle. So the very next note is this one. That's our first whole step, and the second whole step is up to the next black note. And then we're going to go up a step and a half for the minor third that is on top of this. This is our major third, and now we're going to form the minor third. So from this note up, here's a half step and a whole step. So that's E major. The next chord is A minor, which we already did. Now we're going to play a D major. It's the next chord on the next line. Here's a D, up a whole step, and a second whole step for the major third, which remember this is only a half step between these two notes. So we have to go an extra one. And then we need a minor third on top to finish the chord out, a half step, and a whole step. That's D major. We already did E major, so let's just jump to that. We already did A minor. So we did that. Now this next section, I really want you to pay attention to the bass notes that go here. It's really nice how it just kind of moves down linearly. So we're on A minor. The next chord is a C major with a G in the bass. I went over to this idea in the inversions video, number 21, I believe. So we're going to move down the bass note to a G. And by chance, look at that, we actually have a C major chord. Here's your C, your E, and a G, which just happens to be down the octave. And you can verify that this is a major third by going, okay, here's your C. We move up a whole step and another whole step. So there's our third. Half step, a whole step for the minor third on top. Oh, that's the G. We just moved that down an octave, right? So that's actually what we call a second inversion C major chord. And the next chord is F. So we can just move this bass note down another step and build enough major chord off that. So whole step, there's our major third. For a major chord, a minor third is on top. So you go whole step, half step, because there's nothing in between here. There's F major. And the next chord is A minor with an E in the bass. Again, we just take this bass note, move it down to an E, and just like before, magically we have our chord. Remember, A minor is A, C, E. All we did was take the E, move it down an octave. The next chord is E sus4, and I think we went over suspensions in the triads in depth video. The best way to figure out a suspension is to take the major chord, which is E major in this case, and we want to get the fourth. So the fourth is always 1/2 step above the third. Remember, this is our third, the G sharp here. Go up 1/2 step, A. So this, between here and here, this E and the A is a perfect fourth. 1, first scale degree, second, third, fourth. So that's suspension, because we're suspending the 4 up, this middle note up a little bit, and then it resolves back down to the next chord, which is E major. So we resolve the suspension. And then the last chord is A minor again. So, and I want to point out that this part where it goes A minor to C major with the G in the bass, then F, then A minor to E in the bass, all that. Look at how the inversions are making this so nice for us now. And if you really listen to, arrangement of the full orchestra playing this, you'll hear that those are the correct inversions. And, I could just hear John Williams playing this on the piano as he's writing it. That he's just moving down the keyboard, and that's how he wrote it for the orchestra. Or how he got his orchestrator to write it. Okay, so now let's just play the chords again by themselves in the left hand. Pay close attention to where they are in the beat. You should be able to approximate just by looking at this. In measure 2, the E actually comes on the 4th beat. You can tell this because this first note in the second measure is 2 beats long. So this is beat 3 right here. And remember, a dotted quarter note, which means it's 1 beat plus half of itself, means it's a beat and a half. So we get all of beat 3 is here, and then beat 4 is right here, which is actually the dot part of this note. And then right after beat 4 is this 8th note, which is the last part of the measure 2. So it's kind of like 2 8th notes right here, E major, and then this last 8th note. This measure here, with the D and the E chords, the E comes on beat 3, and those last 2 notes, the E's right there, are on beat 4. And then from there, it's pretty easy to line up things. Okay, so I'm going to play them and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you probably won't be able to play it that fast right off the bat, so if you need to slow the beat way the heck down, that's fine. The main thing is that you're playing it correctly no matter how slow it is, and that kind of gets it built into your fingers and into your mind. And then you'll find if you just play it right, no matter how slowly you play it, you'll find the speed comes pretty quickly after that. Okay, and next I'm going to play both hands together. You could take that, if you master playing both hands together like that, then the next step would be to start messing around and trying some more complicated accompaniment parts, just using those same notes. The next video, I'll go over some more advanced ideas that you could do with the accompaniment, rather than just playing the straight up triads.